Well, hey guys, how's it going? It's 7Demo7 and this is my workspace, as a lot of you guys have seen. Now I'm just going to go over some of the key items in my office that I can't live without. Some things that are on my workspace that really helps make my job a whole lot easier when I'm working on planes, quadcopters, racing quads, everything. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, the first thing up for bid on the auction is the cutting mat. Of course, double-sided, has measurements on it, and you can take your X-Acto knives and just cut away at this thing, and it will really help protect your bench. And also, along with your cutting mat, make sure you have a large selection of X-Acto knives and blades. Now I have these number 11s and these curved tip ones, different size handles, which really help you do the things that you need to do with balsa wood or trimming wires, picking things, little things out of your quadcopter motor that you need to, your racing quad motor. So make sure you have a good selection of X-Acto knives. This was a lot less expensive than a lot of the more expensive larger ones that are out there, but I've never really found a need for the larger ones. So okay guys, the next item on my table that I just can't live without is of course my trusty soldering station. Now I got this one from Radio Shack. It is a variable temperature, which is really nice. So when you're doing the small soldering jobs like servo wires that are that small, you can dial the heat back quite a bit. If you're going to solder up some larger battery cables from your larger batteries, you can dial the heat up, which is really nice. This unit has been fantastic. It's been flawless. Make sure you get some of the optional accessories. You want to make sure you have some desoldering braid, maybe a solder sucker that can pull some of the solder out of the areas where you've added too much solder. A nice selection of soldering tips. I actually got these from Hobby King. These are really high quality, and I keep these on hand. There's some smaller and larger ones, some chisel tips, some round tips. So it's just a nice to have a selection of tips for the soldering job that you need. Alright guys, the next item that I have that is my go-to items is a high quality set of hardened steel hex drivers. I believe they're hardened steel, but they are just higher quality than the little hex wrenches that you can get that come along with some of the items that you buy. But nothing annoys me more is when you see a guy who's got like a couple $1,000 quadcopter or racing quads or airplanes that are super expensive, and then when they go to adjust something on the model, they bring out a little Allen key and they're sitting there going like this trying to get it done, when they can have a really nice machine handled precision hex driver. And these will actually save you money down the road and a lot of headache, because if you use a dull blunted tip hex driver on something that you're trying to unscrew and it strips the head, it just leads to many more headaches down the road. Get yourself a good set of hex drivers. It'll pay for dividends way down the road. Alright, on to the next item. Alright guys, I think you probably knew this one was coming, but my hot glue gun is one of my favorite items on my bench. It is great for adhering things together very quickly and with a strong bond. The great part about the hot glue gun is if you ever need to take the hot glue off of your project, all you need is a small dab of denatured alcohol and the hot glue will release its bond very quickly. Fantastic. So I use this on my ZMR mini quad for mounting my FPV camera. I use it on all of my planes. It's just a great universal tool to have. And speaking of that, I also have a couple of these. These I keep in my field box. It runs off of 3S. It takes the smaller glue sticks, but this will heat up in about 3 or 4 minutes, and we've done repairs at the field and gotten up and flying because we had this with us. Fantastic, fantastic item. Okay guys, that brings us to our last item, and once again you can get this item from Hobby King. I know you guys are saying, hey man, he's just promoting Hobby King, but I tell you, when you guys can get things for a lot less and it's a high quality item, you might as well get it from Hobby King, because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to go out and buy Velcro, but it's super expensive. I mean, you buy if you go to your local craft store, it's really expensive and it tends to not work very well. This is the blue Velcro from Hobby King, and I use it on everything. I use it for mounting my FPV cams, my HD cams, and my batteries in my airplanes. And this is a 5200 milliamp pack, and that thing ain't going anywhere. I mean, it is just so sticky. Not only is the Velcro sticky, but the backing, this kind of gel backing that they have on here, is fantastic for mounting anything you want on your airplane or your quadcopter. I also use it under my on my ZMR underneath my battery, so in a crash my battery doesn't get ejected. I use Velcro and of course a battery strap as well. So, but you can see this is about 3 inches wide, and I cut this up into all different types of pieces. But you can get this as 3 inches wide by a full meter, which is a little over 3 feet for you guys that don't speak meters. I think it's maybe $2 or $3 for a huge amount. Whereas if you go to your local hobby store, or if you go to your local craft store, you'll pay $6, $7, $8 for just a tiny amount of Velcro, which is such a ripoff. So it's just Velcro. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me that like, love, and a thumbs up, and we will talk to you later. Now, next video that I'm going to have out that's going to be similar to this is what are the 5 items or 5 or 6 items that I have in my field case that I take to the field. So look forward to that, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you get some of the optional accessories. Hey,